this may sound a little crazy, you guys, and I understand that. I think my job is to kind of look outside the box and think outside the box and continue to strive to find ways to meet the vast and varied needs of this very economically disadvantaged population. As a principal of the school, I can tell you that I'm not really sure I can ever convey the severe need that my students have to you just by presenting information to you. But if you came to my school even for a day or for a week and experienced what I experience on a daily basis, you would see this need, and I think this is certainly worth exploring. As a parent, I feel like I'd be thrilled for my children, who I think are pretty well-adjusted kids, to be learning these techniques and these strategies that would help them, again, learn how to deal with the stresses that everyone deals with, but again, it's heightened for the kids in my school. So I appreciate the opportunity to present this to you, and I certainly can try to answer any questions if you have any.
I'd entertain a motion, and then we'll do questions. Mr. Boutar?
Thank you. In the presentation you have answered.
Mr. Boutar, can we put a motion on the floor, and then we'll get into the discussion?
The Vernon Board of Education approve the proposal to provide yoga instruction to 4th grade children at Maple Street School.
I have a motion. Do I have a second on the motion? I have a second on the motion by Ms. Fisher. Now we'll open up the, you have the floor, Mr. Boutar.
Thank you. In the presentation you
Please
have
pull your
answered.
mic closer.
Pull your mic closer.
So people can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. In your presentation you have answered my main question, that this program is only limited to the Maple Street School. Do I understand, Mr. Chairman, that there is no such problem in any other school in the town?
No, I don't, obviously the other principals can speak for their buildings, but I certainly think this is something that Dr. Gladstone's been consulting with us on several of our students. He has experience with this. It's been used in the Hartford school system some, and a variety of other similar populations to what we're dealing with at Maple Street School, and I think he brought it to me as a way that he thought we could address a need that we have in my building.
Next question, Mr. Chairman.
You still have the floor.
Dr. Sell. No, I take it to Dr. Conway. Do we have the funding for this position? This is a...
We are in a hard freeze right now, so there is no funding for this, but I think Dr. Pacell can address that.
Mrs. Buell can probably give you the specifics, but I know that she was going to try to find some funding through some early intervention funding that she has to provide some of the funding. On your proposal, again, the total that Dr. Gladstone quoted for the 4896, we were going to take out the optional items budget and just go with the 3016 and try to just, propose what was absolutely needed.
As far as the funding goes, we certainly can look at this as a pilot to see if this is something that's beneficial to those students as an early intervention. As part of the IDEA grant, there are early intervention dollars that can be used, and specifically for that kind of thing. What might work for different students, different populations. We certainly are aware that we need to support students to be ready and prepared to learn. And so, the research has gone into this work, and we think that it's a chance worth taking. And I think that it's something different that we can provide that would be a lifelong skill for these students, not just 1 year, but throughout their education.
Any idea how many students are there? Whole class of 4th grade students will be there?
We've had so much in and out. One of them's back there now, one of my 4th grade teachers. We've had 24 in both classes, give or take a few all year long.
And last question, do we have space for them to get involved, exercises, etc.?
Yeah, we would coordinate either with the cafeteria space or the gym space. We'd be able to find space for this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to recognize Ms. Bush next.
What time of day? Would it be during their PE time? Would it interrupt instructional time?
That's a good question. We already do a half hour at least a half hour in every classroom K to 5. We do something called the second step curriculum. I think most of you have heard that probably here before. It's a social emotional kind of problem solving, conflict resolution. So we would think that we would just supplant that half hour using for second step for these 10 weeks. In addition, Ms. Viola and I have talked about it, we have a longer encore period than the other elementary schools. We've done that because we have the need for some longer intervention time, but we're thinking easily we could pull a half hour from 1 day a week from that also to provide those 2 half hours. So it would not, we don't believe it would significantly impact instructional time at all.
Thank you. Ms. Fisher.
Was this for this school year?
Yes.
Other discussion? Mr. Nicholson.
I just wanted to bring to the board's attention that recently a lawsuit was filed in California against a school district for instructing yoga within the schools. So that is a consideration, even though in the package it said it's not religious. Some parents can see it another way. There is a current lawsuit.
And just so you know, the parents will get a form home explaining the whole program. If they want to opt out for their children, they will, and then their children just provided a different activity during those 2 half hours. So it's not going to be anything that will require the students. It will be the parents' choice if they want to participate or not.
Thank you. Ms. Skolich.
Will the students be required to purchase any equipment or clothing or anything like that, or just come as you are?
Come as you are.
Other discussion? Mr. Kemp.
It's quite clear you're very much in favor of this. On the one hand, on the other hand, we've been challenged with a $1.5 million budget reduction, which we don't know whether or not that's going to fly.
This is current budget that we're talking about, that we're under a hard freeze, actually, Mr. Kemp.
You're right. Thank you.
So we don't have, the budget is frozen at this time.
Yeah, talking current year, not next year, but then again, there would be next year, because I guess this pilot would, if it's, let's say it might be successful, you would expect it to be done again next year. I would rather not defeat this. I think the most favorable action the board might take at this time might be to table this particular item. It's an option that we have. Not sure how we all think about that. I am not prepared to make that motion yet. So let me ask the chair, because you encouraged that a motion go on the floor adopting it. What would you feel about a motion to table?
I would have no problem with a motion to table, but I wanted to open up a motion to get the discussion going just so that we stay within our rules of debate. Ms. Sarn.
A question and then a comment through you, Mr. Chairperson. What would be the purpose of tabling this discussion? They need to know whether to move forward or not.
Mr. Kemp.
Well, I thought that the point is that, as Dean said, we're in a freeze, and this is additional money. I don't know how we can do that. And yet it apparently is a worthwhile program in the opinion of some. And rather than see it defeated or denied, I thought that might be the next best move to make.
So your point, I'm assuming, Mr. Kemp, is that if we approve this motion as it was stated, there is a $3,016 cost associated with this motion, because we did not say without any financial cost to the board. We're approving it with the cost. Is that what your concern is?
Well, it's one of them. I mean, I thought this was an after-school activity. I didn't realize it was going to be during instructional time. And I also wasn't aware what Will brought up about potential, concerns that I never even thought about.
Ms. Sargent?
For clarification, please, you said $3,000, but that was for 3 days a week? You mentioned only doing 2 days a week.
We could do it too, and then that would cut the cost down.
No, but your intention is to do 3 days a week?
When the yoga instructor came to me, she said ideally she'd be doing it 3, but she has done it in, camps and schools where she's done it twice a week as well, so.
So where do you get the hour and a half a week?
Well, again, we'd probably take, if we were gonna do the 3, we'd take the half hour definitely from the second step lesson. We could take 2 half hours then from the encore. And again, we have a half hour longer every day than any other elementary school. And we were also thinking we possibly would use some library time. So again, we're very conscious that we do not want to take this out of core instructional time.
Ms. Fisher?
As the seconder of this motion, I was wondering if the person who made the motion would consider an amendment that we might approve this, provided that there is no cost to the Board of Ed and that no instructional time is taken to do this.
So can we consider that a friendly amendment, Mr. Butor?
That, yes, I don't believe there will be any cost to the board.
So the friendly amendment would be that we would approve this without any cost to the board.
Yes.
So you'd amend your motion and we're
And
amending
no
the
loss
same.
of instructional time.
And no loss of instructional time.
I certainly and wholeheartedly and strongly support what Dr. Pusal said, that this will certainly help the section of the students who are in need of this kind of instructions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion on this motion? Seeing none, I'm going to call the motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor of the motion? And those opposed? And I show the motion is ending as a tie, and as the chair, I'll break the motion. I'll break the tie with a in favor of going forward with no cost to the board. So that motion does pass.
Thank you.